We have 3 initiatives that we focus on in the RTCA program, and this is nationally. We do help communities connect to national park units, but oftentimes, in fact in many states, we don't have national park units involved in the projects that we work on. And it's the same case in a region like this. Golden Spike National Historic Site is close, but is not really adjacent to Bear Lake area. But it is one of our initiatives. We also like to engage youth where feasible, not just to do trail implementation, but actually involve youth long-term in projects. This also includes for us engaging with universities, which we'll talk about a little bit later today. Brian had mentioned Utah State, and I'll show you some of the things that they've helped us on statewide. And healthy recreation. I mean, the obesity issue is big with everyone. We talk about built environments. We partner with healthcare organizations statewide where we can. I'll talk a little bit about the projects that we're working on statewide. Our application for assistance is due in August every year. We notify people that they've been awarded for technical assistance by November. We usually only pick up 5 projects statewide. Last year we had 12 applicants that applied, and for new projects we only selected 2. One of those was Bear Lake, because the Regional Commission, Bear Lake Watch, Bragg, and Forest Service BLM had all applied for assistance. Actually, the Regional Commission was the applicant with strong support letters from the entities that I just mentioned. We'll talk a little bit more about what Bear Lake had asked for. I'm also working in Salt Lake City on an old rail line. We're pulling up the rail line, we're connecting that to the Jordan River, and that will also connect to the old canal, so it's going to be an actual triangle trail. There's also going to be a community garden, and we have healthcare partners that are enthusiastic and wanting to work there as well. We have youth involved. And most importantly, I'm going to focus on Brian Head and the next project that I'm going to show here on the products that we've actually delivered statewide in 2009 through 2010. But at Brian Head, we're actually doing a motorized and non-motorized trail master plan that actually includes an interpretive component as well. As part of that project, we also completed mapping. And Moab's one of the biggest projects that we're working on currently. It's going to be a new gateway park to Moab and to the national and state parks. We also do some consultation level projects. That just means that instead of spending 1 or more months on a project, we may spend a few weeks. One of those is working with Paiute and Sevier County on a motorized and non-motorized multiple use trail planning effort, as well as in Uintah County with a county-wide trail master plan. We do partner with multiple organizations, nonprofits, federal, state entities. This is the question that, of course, most people ask us, well, what can you provide our community? And some of these are specific examples of products that we have delivered. We've mapped 35 miles of trail with Iron County, Forest Service, National Park Service, Brian Head Resort, and we're about to complete a master plan. We're about a month away from the actual product. We completed some of the GIS mapping, and currently we're working with Southern Utah University to complete all the trailhead maps for us. And we've actually completed kiosk designs along with logos, trail logos. Our interpretive plan that we just completed was based on actually the GIS mapping, or the GPS mapping. And we developed one theme with multiple sub-themes with all of the community partners that were involved. Most importantly, what that did for the communities and the partnership was allow them to apply for a byway grant, which is due next week. And with that byway grant, they'll be able to compete really well for funding and be able to eventually hire a consultant to actually write the interpretive text. For the Bryan Head project, we also completed some concept planning, as you can see here on the right slide. We're just really able to bring resources in that were a necessity to actually trying to figure out how to implement this in a short time frame. I want to mention that RTCA is involved in projects from 1 to 4 years, but in that 4 years we want to go from project planning to project implementation. On the left here you'll see a concept design right here. This is it's actually a Forest Service site that we assisted the Forest Service on. What we've done was try to enhance some natural resource protection by including additional barrier rock down here around the trailhead, just making the area flow better. These are the types of services that we are able to provide to projects. Another example of a project that we've worked on is the Moab project that I mentioned. We helped them create a community vision. When I say that, it was about a year leading up to us creating a community vision along with goal statements. This actually led again directly to funding because these partners were able to apply for grants and then they were later awarded. Some of the site planning and design that we do is jointly with Utah State University Extension Service. Carlos Lacan is here from Green Space Institute, and he's also representing Utah State Extension. And I wanted to let him have a minute here to talk about the services that Utah State provides.
Good morning. I work in the landscape architecture and environmental planning program. I have the Swanner position in the Green Space Institute within the department, and we also participate in through extension and the department in multiple activities. So my 2 minutes here with you is to bring to your attention that we have a group of students that are very interested in getting involved in real life situations, and that we have multiple ways of getting our students engaged in here. Most of the things that you have heard this morning, we have had students participating in this. We have students have volunteered for the Envision Utah process. We also have students have participated in the green space design efforts. We had students running a workshop or helping run the workshop in Pocatello a couple of years ago. We also have participated through grad students and in projects in southern Utah. And so we have a lot of students that are constantly interested in becoming part of efforts in planning and design efforts. We run a charrette every year where we put all our approximately 120 students for a week to work on with a community. This year we had a charrette for the city of Providence in Cache Valley, where we develop a series of alternative approaches to how to develop their mixed-use vision. So, like Brian said, we had a lot of crazy ideas, but a lot of very interesting approaches and really good contributions from the whole group of students. The charrette format is 1 week where these 120 students work in intense design sessions, and at the end of the week they produce posters that communicate their proposals and their ideas.